Tonight, Gladys Berejiklian, lone wolf in a bear pit. The Premier under fierce attack over her secret love affair bombshell. A terrifying sight at Campsie. A man with an axe in each hand walks the streets, and that's just the beginning. McDonald's, Bunnings, Woolworths, a third COVID cluster in our southwest, but it won't stop a major leap forward for Sydney-siders this week. The moves of a man who insists he's COVID immune. President Trump's triumphant return to rallying. And we hear how Latrell Mitchell is helping the Rabbitohs from a distance.
This is 9 News with Peter Overton.
Good evening. Chin up and back to business. Gladys Berejiklian tried to get on with the job today after her explosive revelations at the ICAC about her long-term romance with disgraced MP Daryl Maguire. And while many from the Premier's own party have rallied around her, she faced a hostile reception in question time this afternoon.
Resurfacing after an evening to digest her own personal nightmare, Gladys Berejiklian kept up the brave face.
Premier, how are you feeling this morning? Do you have the support of the Liberal Party room?
But facing the bear pit hostile territory and plenty of questions to answer.
Premier, why did you fail to fulfil your legal obligation and report Daryl Maguire to ICAC?
If at any stage I knew that anything was going to happen that was wrong or anything wrong had occurred, I would...
Labor unrelenting.
You were complicit in his corruption and his misconduct. Why did you not fulfil your legal obligation?
But the Premier got away a few punches too.
You were in the cabinet room with people found to be corrupt. You were in and...
In a question time that descended into a rabble.
Order! Leader of the opposition.
At least she has the backing of most of her colleagues.
Absolutely. Great Premier, doing a great job.
Who launched a media barrage to prove it.
She's the best leader by a country mile.
She is the best leader in the country.
She is a woman that is made up of the most intense personal integrity.
She's a smart lady who I think's been punching below her weight with perhaps a much more average guy.
Private messages of support delivered too, along with the public backing of a PM.
I can guarantee you one thing, Gladys is someone who keeps on keeping on.
And that's what she tried to do with an apology to her colleagues behind closed doors and a peace offering of sorts to a COVID-restricted state.
We do feel confident enough that from Friday, outdoor venues will be allowed to have 2 square metres outside in preparation for summer.
While the Premier enjoys support from her senior ministers, there are dissenting voices in the Liberal Party. Right-wing backbencher Matthew Mason-Cox has called for a spill against Gladys Berejiklian once before, and today he's outspoken again.
Look, it's very damaging. The government's had a terrible day yesterday with the Premier, and I think we really seriously now need to look at the next steps.
The crossbench also raising concerns.
Getting caught up with still having a relationship, knowing that he's before ICAC, I think is poor judgment.
Her fate could be determined tomorrow in ICAC. All eyes will be watching to see if her former lover backs her story.
Our state politics reporter Liz Daniels joins me from Macquarie Street tonight. Liz, what's the verdict? Did the Premier survive question time?
Well, Pete, she was repeatedly heckled as delusional by Labor MPs, but that sort of pressure from the opposition, ultimately, she can withstand. The problem for Gladys Berejiklian will come if more members of her own party start thinking the same way, Pete.
Liz, thank you. And tonight, the Premier is waiting to hear what her former lover has to say when he takes the stand at the ICAC over the next 2 days. Daryl Maguire's alleged dodgy business dealings have been further aired at the Commission. Hearing the former Wagga Wagga MP teamed up with a Chinese businesswoman to try and make a buck.
Daryl Maguire sharing a warm handshake with China's President Xi. The then Minister Gladys Berejiklian waiting patiently just in behind at the 2014 meeting. The two were on the cusp of a 5-year secret relationship, much of which the member for Wagga Wagga spent brokering deals for Chinese business people and chasing a cut.
And when you're talking oil, you're talking big money.
And we do as before half.
Yeah, well,
I'm cool with that. We'll do like we always do, all right?
Yeah.
Blood brothers and sisters.
Maguire's associate, Maggie Wang, admitted to the inquiry they were trying to make money all over the place, including helping a Chinese company buy a factory in Samoa.
And, probably we want, maybe go a bit higher level, visiting the Prime Minister.
Yep.
It's not just Samoa, but Vanuatu, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands. Daryl Maguire claimed he had friends in high places in all of these countries.
So put on letterhead, let him sign it, and basically, yep, we're ready for the next stage. We want to meet with the Prime Minister, blah, blah, blah. And then I can make that happen.
The inquiry hearing Maguire set up meetings with Sydney-based diplomats for Chinese businessman Ho Yen Lee.
He's very Chinese in his way, isn't he? He's definitely a government official, that bloke. Definitely.
The inquiry also heard Maguire got a message to Ms Wang telling her to delete her text messages and emails when he realised ICAC was onto them at a hearing in 2018 that ended his career. Maguire allegedly admitting his own phone and iPad had been destroyed underneath a tractor in a farm accident.
There's been an unfortunate accident where my phones and iPad have been, run over by a tractor?
Something like that.
Daryl Maguire will front the inquiry tomorrow for 2 full days of evidence. Chris O'Keefe, 9 News.
A violent road rage incident has ended with a man losing a finger at Campsie. A cyclist who allegedly left the scene before returning with 2 axes is tonight behind bars.
An axe in each hand and allegedly threatening to kill. 51-year-old Bradley Howard stopping for no one.
Turn around. He left 2 eggs, like you say, half meter each one, and he held it like that. He said, boys, I will kill you here.
He didn't kill, but he did do permanent damage. Muhammad Ali Khalifawi's finger bitten off.
He's cut it completely off. Not even in 5 seconds or 10 seconds, my finger is off.
The barbershop owner was leaving work in Beamish Street at Campsie when he was allegedly approached by 51-year-old Bradley Howard. He says the stranger accused him of hitting his push bike.
I said, I didn't see you, mate. What's going on? Nothing is happening. I didn't touch you. Nothing I do for you.
Howard grabbed his bike and took off, only to return minutes later armed with not 1, but 2 large axes. Barbershop staff banding together, including Muhammad's 22-year-old nephew, who suffered a broken arm.
I didn't know what to think, because you can't really go up to him with 2 axes.
The group of men followed the alleged offender all the way here to the Woolworths car park before pouncing on him from behind and pinning him down until police arrived.
Howard faced court today where he was refused bail, while it could be some time before Muhammad can work as a barber again. Grace Fitzgibbon, 9 News.
The man who went on a stabbing spree across Sydney's CBD after allegedly killing 24-year-old Michaelia Dunn is one step closer to accepting a plea deal. His lawyer today telling a court they're considering a deal presented by police. Mert Ney has remained in custody since he was sensationally arrested by bystanders armed with a milk crate and a chair in August last year. Serial conman Matthew Rickson has found himself back before a court, accused of secretly starting more than 20 companies in a friend's name at a time when he was bankrupt. Rickson is facing 36 charges, allegedly forging Guy Ashford's signature as a director on ASIC documents. Rickson has served jail time and been the subject of public warnings in several states over dodgy dealings. A COVID cluster is rapidly spreading across Sydney's southwest. Testing clinics set up at Oran Park and Lakemba as new health alerts are issued tonight for a number of venues. Despite the spread, the government has vowed to bring Sydney back in time for summer. Restrictions on bars and restaurants easing from this Friday.
A Lakemba church transformed into a COVID testing clinic. Many in the queue had recently been patients from 2 medical centres around the corner in Halden Street, where 2 GPs have tested positive.
When were you at the doctor's surgery?
Saturday.
The doctors also worked last Friday and on October the 1st whilst infectious.
I'm a little bit nervous. I'm just afraid if I got the virus and pass it to my kids.
The 2 GPs are included in 7 new locally acquired cases in the past 24 hours. The other 5 are members of the same household from southwestern Sydney. One was a child who attended the Great Beginnings Childcare Centre at Oran Park, while another person who worked in disability support and had attended 3 small group homes in the southwest. Late this afternoon, Woolworths at Oran Park, McDonald's and Aldi at Emerald Hills, Fantastic Furniture in Campbelltown and Bunnings at Gregory Hills were added to locations visited by confirmed cases. We currently have 3 clusters of COVID-19 bubbling away in our community. One originated at Liverpool Hospital and has now snowballed into 14 cases. The other 2 outbreaks have no linkage, no history. But despite that, the government is willing to roll the dice and loosen the shackles for outdoor dining. This beer garden at Watson's Bay will be able to double the crowd from Friday as the 1 patron per 4 square metre rule is cut in half.
It will just make a huge difference to the economy, but it will make a huge difference to the ambience of Sydney and indeed New South Wales.
The running of the richest race on turf, the Everest, will be among the first to dine out on the changes this Saturday. But of course, punters will have to be seated. Damien Ryan, 9 News.
Drug maker Johnson & Johnson has paused its COVID-19 vaccine trial because of an unexplained illness in one of the volunteers. The company is currently in its 3rd and final trial stage. The illness will now be reviewed by a safety monitoring board before the study is allowed to restart. And the United Kingdom will impose a 3-tier system for local lockdowns to try and contain coronavirus case numbers, which have quadrupled in the past 3 weeks. It will see pubs and gyms close for a month in the northern city of Liverpool. There are now more COVID-19 patients in Britain's hospitals than during the first wave in March. With any prospect of overseas travel still a long way off, there's a new push tonight for all of us to holiday here in Australia. A major campaign has begun to help local tourism operators, and most of us are more than eager.
A famous local has been recruited to urge Australians to holiday at home.
I could teach the kids to surf.
You don't know how to surf?
Yeah, I mean, obviously someone would teach me and then I would pass on the wisdom to them.
With the international borders shut, domestic tourism is bracing for a $55 billion hit this year.
Traditionally, 1 in 13 Australian jobs are reliant on our tourism industry, and they are under pressure right now because of COVID.
The latest figures show the number of international visitors crashed from 790,000 in August 2019 to 3,000 in August this year, a drop of 99.6%. So the call is going out for locals to fill the void, but they already seem to have the message.
Absolutely amazing. Our business has increased tenfold.
John Perry's camper trailer business is booming.
Every single person that comes in, they're putting their hard-earned money into caravans and travelling around Australia rather than doing the trip overseas.
But the increased demand for holidays at home has caused supply problems.
The shipping time's just blown out dramatically and the hold-ups. I've got a stack of containers sitting off Singapore at the moment.
It's other supply lines that are troubling the government, with reports that China has halted the import of Australian coal. There are fears that it's another sign of the bad blood between Beijing and Canberra.
We have concerns about a number of decisions that have been taken during the course of this year.
But the government says coal imports have been paused before. Chris Ullman, 9 News.
A New South Wales man is behind bars in Western Australia tonight following a drug bust which saw 13 kilos of meth and $4 million cash seized. WA police tracked down the supply at a home in Perth after intercepting a truck packed with tubs of money. The alleged driver, a 58-year-old man from Lake Macquarie, has been charged with money laundering. Residents have rallied to protest 5 waste-to-energy incinerators that are proposed to be built in Blacktown, Eastern Creek, Matraville, Wallacia and Lithgow. The community says the incineration systems produce toxic pollutants, detrimental to health and the environment. Residents and parliamentary representatives are demanding an immediate moratorium on the technology and similar facilities. The US President has made a dramatic, unbridled return to the campaign trail following his bout of coronavirus. Returning to Orlando, Florida, where he launched his Make America Great Again campaign last year, President Trump insisted he's immune to COVID and back on track to win the 2020 race.
Throwing face masks to a mostly maskless and devoted crowd.
And here we are. Here we are.
Just hours after his doctor confirmed the president tested negative to COVID-19 on consecutive days and is no longer infectious.
I went through it. Now they say I'm immune. I feel so powerful. I'll kiss everyone in that audience. I'll kiss the guys and the beautiful women.
Thousands are standing shoulder to shoulder to witness their leader's campaign comeback. Even as the nation's chief infectious diseases expert expressed concern about resuming large rallies.
We know that is asking for trouble when you do that.
His reckless personal conduct since his diagnosis has been unconscionable.
The full-throttle Trump show in sharp contrast to the Biden campaign, engines idling at a drive-in rally in Ohio.
We have somebody running who's not 100%, he's not 80%, he's not 60%. We can't have this.
Sparring as their parties went to battle on Capitol Hill, Republicans forging ahead with confirmation hearings to lock in the president's Supreme Court nominee.
I have been nominated to fill Justice Ginsburg's seat, but no one will ever take her place.
A lot of people said that I was elected because of the Supreme Court, because I said I'm going to put great conservative, constitutionalists, great judges on the Supreme Court.
A shorter than usual speech for the recovering 74-year-old, kicking off a busy week of rallies across the country.
The president has an uphill battle making up lost ground from his time on the sidelines while facing dismal polls in swing states, including Florida. And if he loses here on November 3, holding on to the White House will be almost impossible.
The crowd here determined not to let that happen.
Trump is going to take it in a landslide. Look at the lawns. Unless they cheat. Yeah, God gave us Trump. Trump gave us all hope.
In Florida, Amelia Adams, 9 News.
OK, it's time to pause and have a look at today's weather. Good evening, Amber.
Good evening, Pete. Temperatures soared today under beautiful blue skies and sunshine with a light northeasterly breeze. After a low of 15 degrees, the city warmed up to a very summery 29 degrees. That is 7 above average. Our west dipping to 11 before hitting 32 degrees in the afternoon sunshine. The heat very, very dry thanks to low humidity. Tonight we are expecting a gusty southerly change to move through and cool things off, bringing a much milder day tomorrow. I'll be back with the full forecast a little later. Pete?
Amber, thank you. Well, we are all familiar with the crawl of Pennant Hills Road. Now get used to this. Next, your first drive through North Connects to Sydney, Blacktown and Parramatta. But be warned, the toll price has already gone up and the road isn't even open. As chilling as it gets, never before seen video inside a Brighton Le Sands home. One of these two cousins won't survive. The Kellyville man and the Turkish bathrobes. His crime is invisible, but it didn't fool police. And what's the incredible news that just couldn't wait till morning? The story behind this curious doorbell cam.
This is awesome. Two of TV's biggest shows.
Oh, I love.
Join forces. And it's pure magic.
I'm flabbergasted. I'm shocked.
Wow. On a spectacular Family Tuesday, Scotty, Hamish and Brickman unleash wonder, imagination, and the biggest prize of the year.
I've never seen anything like this before.
Take more control over your hay fever. Prevent symptoms before they even start. Try Nutel Nasal Allergy Spray. Its active ingredient binds to receptors in the nasal cavity, preventing congestion, runny noses and sneezing. Try Nutel Nasal.
Dylan Turquoise, the new fragrance for her by Versace.
Can care be better at home?
Someone from Medibank mentioned that there's a chance I can do rehab at home.
I said, oh, how much extra is that going to cost?
And they said, no, you've got it in your hospital cover. It just was fantastic for me.
don't want to leave your car, choose Domino's new car park delivery for no extra charge. Try it today and get 50% off premium or traditional pizzas. Bring it in.
The Hum Big Home Cashback. Up to $30K, always interest-free. Hum, the bigger buy now, pay later.
The plumbing bill that'll make you gag.
200 grand, that's a take.
$212,000 to replace a pipe for an 82-year-old man with dementia.
They're taking him for a ride.
So we tracked down Sydney's pricey plumbers.
No need to hide in the bushes.
A current affair next.
The Art of Living sale ends soon. For a limited time, save up to 50% on the award-winning iconic Jasper sofa.
So why buy ordinary furniture when you can come home to King furniture?
Sale ends soon.
9 News, brought to you by King Living. The Art of Living sale ends soon. Visit kingliving.com.
Boxes full of bathrobes, towels and fabrics destined for Australia have been found by Turkish authorities, soaked in liquid methamphetamine. The botched shipment was allegedly linked to Kellyville man Haydari Haken, who was arrested this morning. The 37-year-old is known to police and is an associate of the Comanchero bikie gang. The maximum penalty is life behind bars. It's almost a year behind schedule, but officials say the opening of North Connects is now only weeks away. A new video has been released of a trial run inside the tunnels, and it's being billed as a stress-free option to Pennant Hills Road.
Last-minute testing, and in the final weeks before North Connects opens to the public, a never-before-seen video showing drivers exactly what to expect from the $3 billion project.
We do want to make sure it's super safe and get this right.
Gliding through the tunnels, there's the exit towards Blacktown and the M7. You can veer off on your way to Sydney and Parramatta or continue to the M2 towards Blacktown and the M7. Drivers encouraged to take a look to familiarise themselves with the toll road and avoid confusion when it opens.
This is a vital missing link and it'll get the through traffic off roads in our community.
This road's nearly a year late now. We're calling on the government to make the first month free, a toll-free period, as a reward to drivers for the delay they've had.
The sales pitch is about moving motorists off busy Pennant Hills Road and onto North Connects. Drivers will avoid 40 sets of traffic lights on the Pacific Highway and 21 between the M1 and M2, but it will come at a cost. It hasn't even opened yet, but the North Connects toll has already increased by 8 cents in line with the M2. It's now $7.99 for cars and $23.97 for trucks.
From day one, we will be tolling. It is important to ensure people understand the benefits they're getting.
Vicky Jardim, 9 News.
The trial of a detained Australian writer accused of espionage in China has begun in a Beijing court. Blogger Yang Hengjun has been held in the country since January 2019 and says he's innocent. A spokesperson for the Chinese Foreign Ministry claims authorities are fully protecting his rights. Sometimes good news simply can't wait. A Stanford University academic racing across the street at 2 a.m. to wake up his colleague and deliver this life-changing message through a doorbell camera.
Paul? It's Bob Wilson. Yeah. You've won the Nobel Prize. And so they're trying to reach you.
Isn't that fantastic? Paul Milgram and Robert Wilson have taken out the Nobel Prize in Economics for their work on auction theory. Josh Mansour has endured more than most to be part of the Penrith team's 2020 success. And if they beat South Sydney on Saturday, there'll be a trace of revenge in the story, Cam.
Just a tinge of it, Pete. They love Josh at the Panthers, of course, but he grew up idolising the Rabbitohs. And although he was a Souths junior, he wasn't feeling the same kind of love at Redfern. They let him go, and they may regret it this weekend. Not so long ago, Corey Hawira Nara was too ashamed to ever wear the Bulldogs jumper again, so he left for the Raiders, and tonight tells Jaleesa Apps about his path to redemption, which could lead to a grand final. And play of the day, Manny Margot puts it all on the line to make the catch. That's about a 2-metre drop, Pete.
That was you getting into the set to make it on time. Thank you, Cam. A broken vase was just the beginning. Next, the video from Brighton Le Sands that shocked all of us today. 2 cousins, 2 knives. But within minutes, one of them will be dead. Sydney's new growth area for jobs. Thousands of positions right here to start a new career. The Pope and George Pell, 2 old friends reunited. But there's something very wrong with this picture. And a Sydney institution, a feast for the eyes as well as the taste buds, is calling it a day after 4 decades.
The secret political affair that's divided the nation. The ugly fallout.
I can't think of a bigger bombshell than this.
A current affair next.
Tomorrow on Today, Donald Trump's former national security advisor joins us to discuss the campaign for president. Are the polls to be believed?
Plus, I go one-on-one with the kid from Caboolture himself, Mr. Keith Urban. We'll see you from 5:30.
Straight from the world's best plant scientists comes Scott's Performance Naturals, a range of soil and plant foods made from 100% natural ingredients to grow your plants twice as big. Scott's Performance Naturals. Incredible results, naturally.
Mondella makes it easier to create the bathroom you've always wanted. From planning your design to choosing your style, even hints and tips on how to bring your dream bathroom to life. Imagine, choose and transform your bathroom with Mondella.
So, love, there's only that robot costume left. Oh, this one.
Make the choice easy with Toyota. Get the improved Prado, now with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, plus more power. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
You know, you do have another self that can change your everyday. It all starts with your gut health. So we've combined probiotics, plus prebiotics, plus vitamins to help you find your other self. It's elemental, really.
Boys!
Watch Sky Racing live, anywhere, now available on Sportsbet.
As part of BHP's new training and local business support program, BHP has announced a $780 million investment to support new apprenticeships, training and business opportunities across Australia over the next 5 years.
They took away his whole life.
So here I am now, serving a life sentence for something I didn't do.
Now he's taking it back.
Come on, lawyer, proving my innocence.
One man's epic fight for life. Stream the complete season now for free on 9Now.
Horrifying footage of the moment a woman was fatally stabbed by her cousin in Brighton Le Sands has been played in court. It's the 3rd time Catherine Abdullah has appeared in court, charged over the crime. Her previous convictions successfully overturned.
The smashing of a vase escalates a fight between cousins. Papers pushed off the kitchen table before Catherine Abdullah, in the pink, launches off the couch. Seconds later, Susie Sarkis catapults onto Abdallah, wrestling with legs flying. Susie pounds her with a closed fist. This is a fight over a damaged Mercedes, which will turn deadly in the next 2 minutes.
I acted in self-defence and I'm going to leave it at that.
Thank you.
And let the footage speaks for itself.
Footage which captures every angle of their brawl, right up until Abdallah runs to the kitchen and arms herself with 2 large knives. We won't show you the part where she lunges at Susie, fatally stabbing her in their Brighton Le Sands townhouse in 2013. Today the footage aired at Abdallah's trial in the New South Wales Supreme Court, where she's pleaded not guilty to manslaughter. The CCTV shows her wiping the knives as she tells a 000 operator she's applying pressure to her cousin's wounds.
There was a bit of an accident in the house, a bit of a fire. Please.
There's a fight. Stop screaming and tell me what's happened.
She's bleeding.
Slow down.
This is Abdullah's third trial. She's been found guilty of manslaughter by a jury twice, but successfully appealed her convictions each time. Ongoing trauma for Susie's family.
I hope Catherine Abdullah rots in jail. I will never forgive her. I will never forget what she did.
7 years on, Abdullah still maintains she acted in self-defence. Her judge-alone trial continues. Emma Partridge, 9 News.
George Pell has met with the Pope for the first time since being acquitted of child sex abuse charges. The Cardinal raised eyebrows when he defied COVID protocol and tried to kiss the Pontiff on the hand. On the same day, 4 Swiss guards tested positive for coronavirus. George Pell said the half an hour Vatican meeting, went very well, but what they discussed is still unknown. Sydney is on the cusp of an emerging jobs boom that may help buck the recession and traditional male roles. Tonight, a whole new generation of lady tradies is being presented with new opportunities for new careers in all new fields.
Surrounded by big trucks, tinkering with big engines, Megan Shakuti is making the most of a big opportunity.
I'm constantly learning. The boys really want to teach me all the time, which is 100% what I want.
A second-year apprentice with Daimler Trucks in Huntingwood near Penrith, Megan is part of a new generation of women excelling in formerly male-occupied fields.
I love walking into different workshops, wherever it may be, different workplaces, and seeing so many females in a male-dominated industry.
7 out of the 10 fastest-growing fields are accessible through apprenticeships and traineeships. Most of those are male-dominated. But with that supply comes a new demand for lady tradies.
I fix my own car, I'm fixing my parents' cars, I'm doing things that I never thought I'd really be doing.
And $1.2 billion in federal funding has increased incentives.
We know that the youth unemployment rate today is double the rate across the rest of the economy.
As revealed on 9 News, there are 200,000 skilled positions currently unfilled. When you add the 100,000 apprenticeships outlined in the government's budget, it means there are plenty of opportunities right now for a new career or a career change.
We recognise that for young women in the skilled trades, so much growth potential remains untapped. So it's certainly a key focus now and into the future.
You don't know until you give it a try, and once I tried it, it was like the best decision I've ever made.
Charles Croucher, 9 News.
A tunnel underneath Blackheath in the Blue Mountains is now the state government's favoured option as part of a multi-billion-dollar upgrade to the Great Western Highway. It's now seeking feedback on the plan. There had been outrage over the initial proposal to bypass the historic town. An iconic Sydney restaurant is closing its doors after nearly 4 decades in business. Lucio's has hosted everyone from the Beatles to Al Pacino and will be remembered not only for the pasta but also for the paintings and plates adorning its walls.
Buongiorno and benvenuti nel mio ristorante.
For 40 years, Lucio Galetto has warmly welcomed diners through these doors.
Look, it's not a business anymore, it's just my life.
After meeting his wife Sally in Italy, he followed her back to Australia. The pair first opened the restaurant in Balmain, but moved it to Paddington in '84. Lucio's iconic lemon-coloured corner building, as famous as its Italian fare.
You know, the food, I see the food, I say, oh my God, people in Sydney are not going to have this wonderful food anymore. Sorry to be modest.
From John Olsen to Sydney Nolan, the restaurant's walls resemble a gallery, all pieces gifted to Lucio by artists who dined here and became his friends.
It's a drawing by Charles Blackman, done on a napkin. A dirty napkin, mind you, as you can see.
Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban among the many famous clientele, but Lucio isn't one to brag.
I don't want to be a name dropper, you know.
The most famous item on the menu, which has been served since day one, is the
tagliolini alla granseola,
which means a pasta dish with crab. If you want to try it for yourself, you'll need to get in quick. The restaurant closes its doors for good on January 29th.
It was wonderful. but it is time.
Although this isn't the last you'll see of Lucio. He plans to open another restaurant with Sally and his children.
I get so bored at home, I say I don't want to retire. What a bad word retire is.
Natalia Cooper, 9 News.
Flat pack furniture, meatballs, electricity. Retail superstore IKEA is branching out, using its vast rooftops to generate power, and customers will reap the rewards. Don't look now, but there's a cougar on the prowl. Cam, Latrell Mitchell, still a big part of South's premiership
Yeah,
drive.
still a huge help to them, Pete. In fact, tonight the Rabbitohs reveal how their injured superstar is helping them cope with all the head noise of the NRL finals. Plus, live to Sydney Tower for the Everest Barrier draw with Peter V'landys.
And after a blast of heat today, it will feel significantly cooler tomorrow, but the warm weather won't stay away for long. I'll have your full forecast soon.
Unlocking Australia's Alva Beach mystery. Now the chilling 000 calls.
I need police right now. I've just started broken in my house.
A current affair next.
Little Madeleine McCann, taken by a monster.
There is no mystery more baffling.
A special Tuesday event.
You are dealing with a serial killer.
The full, explosive story
This is the strongest lead I've ever seen.
of a 13-year hunt for evil.
There's pictures and videos of Madeleine McCann.
Maddie and the Monster. A 60-minute special event tonight.
This is my little quiet space.
We've made changes for those changing the way they work, with no lock-in contracts on all our new internet and mobile plans. Just pay out your device if you leave.
New tortilla pockets are ready for takeoff. And we are go!
Launching to mess-free Mexican with new tortilla pockets from All Del Paso.
Let us entertain you with more live sky racing and US Sport Vision. Anytime, anywhere. Make a date with the edge of your seat this spring. Tab. Long may we play.
Nivea Cellular Filler Elasticity with Hyaluron, Collagen and Elastin Booster. Improves elasticity and visibly reduces even deep wrinkles. Or your money back. Nivea Cellular Filler Elasticity.
This isn't just a vehicle. It's an experience. A state of perfect flow and effortless motion. The streets belong to you, the cyclists. Volvo XC40 with cyclist detection for everyone's safety. Volvo.
Help keep your energy costs down. Switch to Energy Australia on Total Plan and get a guaranteed total energy bill discount. Plus, for a limited time, get an extra $75 off your first electricity and first gas bills. Join today.
Get delivery like a G. See, hungry dogs gotta eat. I get mines every day, every week. Chicken wings to the crib, I'm sitting in. MENULOG.
Somebody say, menu love.
When you're ready to go back to work, career coaching is there to help work out what's right for you. TAL, ensuring this Australian life.
Every case of the original
I'm Jane Halifax.
Halifax FP starts tonight on 9Jam.
Latrell Mitchell is out of sight but not out of mind for the Rabbitohs, who revealed today he is still very much a part of their premiership push. Despite living outside the COVID bubble, the two-time NRL champion is guiding South's youth brigade on how to deal with all the pressure that comes with sudden death footy.
At this point in the competition, most teams palm off questions about winning the title. Souths, though, are embracing it.
Yeah, it'd be pretty special, mate. It's probably hard to put into words, something that I've been obviously, probably working towards my whole life.
2 more wins and it's theirs. But first they have to get past Penrith in a Panthers home final at ANZ Stadium, and that suits the Rabbitohs just fine.
Yeah, it's worked out pretty good for us, and I'm sure that the South faithful will turn out in numbers, and we can't do it without them. So, the more of them there, the better.
Latrell Mitchell may be out of South's bubble, but he's been spending plenty of time in Taree.
Sending me photos of him fixing up a little fence the other week.
He's also guiding Allen and others through the furnace of finals footy. The pressure, the tactics, the mental game.
He messaged me usually after every game. He's just helping me focus on, myself. There's a lot of outside noise that comes with finals footy, as well as, normal games during the season. But, he's good at just, getting me to just think about my own game.
Even though he's been away, he's thrown his support from afar. And I think a lot of the boys would really appreciate the energy and the support that he throws from afar.
Rob Canning, 9 News.
Josh Mansour once dreamed of winning premierships with South Sydney. Instead, he's plotting to end their season on Saturday. Now a Panthers favourite, Mansour is key to the team's success on and off the field.
More than just a try scorer and a smiling face, Josh Mansour is the heartbeat of the Panthers. The man who's prepared to care about his young teammates.
I've got this knack of knowing if I can see someone bothered about something and
needs a chat.
Needs a chat, yeah, or just depending on their personality. If they're kind of people that like being confronted about it, or if I feel like a text is easier. I don't know. I've always had a knack in speaking to people, and I just love keeping everyone happy.
So if I call you a mother hen, is that mean or not?
I don't know. I don't think I like mother hen. I don't think that's the right word for it.
A series of severe injuries has taught him to look out for others.
There were times where I thought, I was feeling a bit of a victim and just thinking, why me? And, asking for questions that weren't going to get answered, and just wondering when the bad luck was going to stop. But, it's been an unreal year, not only for myself but for the team. And, again, I'm very lucky and very fortunate to be a part of it.
It's easy to forget that Mansour broke into junior reps playing for Souths. His old teammate was key rabbit Adam Reynolds.
When I was there, all I wanted to do is wear the Souths jersey and, play my whole career there. But sometimes, in the business we're in, it doesn't really work out.
Did they not want you?
At the time, I felt unwanted. Never had the indication that they wanted me to stay. So. Which was quite disappointing. It did hurt me a bit when I was a kid, but it is what it is. I didn't take it personal. I was just looking for an opportunity, and Penrith presented that.
Danny Weidler, 9 News.
Corey Harawira-Nara can't believe he is now so close to a premiership. After beginning the season with the Bulldogs before leaving in disgrace, he's now desperate to repay the faith Ricky Stewart has shown him at the Raiders.
Corey Harawira-Nara feared he'd never play football again. Now he's just 80 minutes away from a grand final.
It's crazy how much this year's sort of changed for me from that could be my dream done, to realising a dream possibly.
Deregistered in April for his role in the Port Macquarie schoolgirl scandal, his career and life were in chaos.
It was just a lot of drinking, wasn't really speaking to my family. I just felt like crap, really.
In July came the news the ban would be overturned, and then a chance for Harawira-Nara to play for the Raiders.
And them taking a risk on me is sort of enough for me to pull my head in and just make it work down here. It's time to grow up and be sort of the player I want to be and the person I want to be.
He's now moved on from the scandal, but admits it was hard to see the Bulldogs struggle this season.
Well, I feel like I didn't deserve to be there with what I'd done to the club, and they've got a lot of things going on at the moment that I feel like is part of my doing as well, so it's sort of hard to see that.
The NRL COVID bubble has meant Harawira-Nara hasn't yet been able to fully embrace Canberra, but he says as soon as the season's over, he wants to immerse himself in the community that gave him a second chance.
Just with my time off, I just want to get back and sort of thank everyone that sort of helped me through this year.
Jaleesa Rapps, 9 News.
Tonight, the barrier draw for Sydney's $15 million race, the Everest, will be held high above the city. Racing New South Wales boss Peter V'landys is at Sydney Tower. Good evening, Peter. I hope you're not scared of heights.
I'm very scared of heights, Cam, so I won't be going up there. I'll be comfortable in here with all the glass.
All right, well, when you think back 6 months, can you believe you've almost completed an NRL season and the Everest is going to be run on Saturday?
Look, I was always confident because we based all our decisions on the data, and as long as the community infection was down, we could see our way through. And, you know, we've got the best biosecurity measures for both racing and rugby league. But all the credit goes to the participants. Firstly, all the players and the officials in rugby league, and all the jockeys and trainers and strappers and everyone else that's really abided by these biosecurity measures. And we have not had one problem, and that's the reason we've been able to finish both the rugby league and the racing.
And Pete, you've got a bit soft. You've agreed to run the Everest an hour before the Caulfield Cup instead of 15 minutes.
Oh, look, I think the Victorians need all the help they can get, so no, we're just giving them all the assistance.
All right, mate. It's going to be a wonderful carnival. Thank you very much and enjoy the evening. Now, Wallaby scrum half Nick White has signed off on a revised All Blacks response plan for Sunday's Bledisloe 2 against Australia at Eden Park.
I don't think it's going to matter where we play them this week. There's going to be a reaction from them.
But next month's Rugby Championship on home soil is in doubt as South Africa considers withdrawing from the tournament because of player welfare concerns during the pandemic. Baseballer Manny Margot showed the ultimate commitment during an American Major League game this morning. The Tampa Bay Rays outfielder put everything on the line to take a catch against Houston Astros. But that wasn't Margot's most important play. He also blasted a 3-run homer, which proved the difference in the Rays' 4-2 victory. They're now calling him Manny Margot, as in the greatest of all time.
He is good. Thank you, Cam. IKEA is making a play in the energy market. Next, the Flat Pack Kings plan to pump power back into the grid, bringing down prices. Plus, a World War II bomb this big has never been found until now, and it's active.
Sydney's toll madness. A mum's bitter court battle with a corporate giant.
So hard. Sorry, I'm really sorry.
A current affair next.
Who will make the grand final?
Here they come!
Friday, Storm Raiders. Saturday, Panthers Rabbitohs. Live on 9.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Rules are made to be broken. Only with Vodafone, you can get infinite data at the speed you choose, plus data at max speed to use how you desire. So if you wish to rule your feed, stream entire seasons, or upload to the cloud in your virtual boardroom, switch now to a plan with faster infinite data. Rule your speed, rule your network, rule infinitely. You rule with Vodafone.
Let's compare health insurance. You might even save some money. Okay, I'll do it. Take the out of saving. Now's the time to compare, select and save with iSelect.
When you sign up your electricity and gas to an eligible AGL residential plan, you can get up to $100 in credits. That's $50 on electricity and $50 on gas. Call us on 131 189 or search AGL Energy to join today.
It lives at first light, wherever we push ourselves. When we pull together, it lives over the door, at the end of every paintbrush, after the sun has set. It lives in going for a 6, where a 4 would have done it. It lives in every square inch of this place. And because we live here, Can lives here.
So it's between that one and this one.
Make the choice easy. Get a 3.9% comparison rate across the Corolla hatch and sedan range. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Chicken breasts. So perfect. So versatile they can do anything. Like this and that. Oh, look at them. Now only $7.99 per kilo. Aldi. Good. Different.
We all know change has to happen, but real change, it doesn't just happen in the comment section. Hashtags can't plant trees. Tweets won't clean oceans. For real change to happen, we need to roll up our sleeves and get dirty. At Omo, we're changing too, with 100% recyclable bottles, and our new formulation is boosted with naturally derived stain removers. Omo, tough on stains, kinder to the planet.
Hey mate, have you seen the Sportsbet app now has Sky Racing?
Really?
Yep, live racing from all around Australia right there on your phone.
Oh, I'm liking this.
Yeah, just one tap and you're streaming from Randwick, Caulfield, Ascot, Dapto Dogs.
Righto, mate, I get it. What are you, the Sportsbet guy now or something?
I actually do a pretty good impression.
This is new. Sky Racing, now available on the Sportsbet app.
Bloody hell, that's pretty good.
I told you.
Furniture giant IKEA is stepping into the energy market, turning its stores into power stations. It wants all of its stores to be powered by 100% clean energy within 10 years and even feed excess cheap power back into the grid.
It's the home of flat pack furniture and Swedish meatballs. Now, IKEA's Australian CEO is opening the door to becoming a power provider. First for his own stores and then the whole community.
Low cost and affordable energy that is clean.
Adelaide is going first, partnering with Planet Arc Power and the state government, installing more solar panels and a series of batteries that can feed excess power back into the grid, boosting state supplies.
It's definitely a game changer.
If that's a success, the other 9 Australian stores will follow.
By 2030, all of the IKEA operations around in the world, our ambition is to have them powered by clean energy.
The roof of almost every IKEA store in Australia already looks like this. But without battery storage, solar energy only covers about 20% of the power bill. Reaching 100% would save up to $1 million a year for every store. And IKEA says customers will benefit.
And we can invest that into lower prices for our range.
IKEA says it's about planning for the future and believes other companies should get on board.
It certainly has application to distribution centres, warehouses, any sort of industrial or commercial site that you could imagine. There's actually no need for government support. This stands on its own 2 feet commercially.
Jane Azzopardi, 9 News.
A high-stakes military operation is underway to defuse the biggest unexploded World War II bomb ever discovered in Poland. The tall boy was used by the Royal Air Force in an attempt to sink a Nazi battleship and still contains thousands of kilos of explosives.
It's lurked beneath the surface for 75 years, but it is still very much alive. A so-called earthquake bomb left over from World War II, uncovered in northwest Poland, triggering a major military operation.
To jest 5400 kg.
Divers say just the smallest vibration could trigger detonation. It contains 2,400 kilos of explosives, more than 750 people forced to evacuate as the military delicately burns through its explosive charge in a 5-day operation. Coming in at more than 6 metres long and 5,400 kilos, the monster bomb was dropped by Britain's Royal Air Force in a 1945 assault on a Nazi warship.
There was no direct hit, but such is the earthquake effect of the 12,000-pounders.
It's the best preserved tall boy ever discovered, soon to be nothing more than a relic, sleeping on a seabed. Davina Smith, 9 News.
A lovely walk through a canyon in Utah in the United States turned into a nightmare for this hiker stalked by a cougar on the prowl.
Go away! No! No!
I'm nervous. The wildcat followed him for 6 terrifying minutes, eventually running away. Coming up in the news, finance and Amber with our weather.
Thank you, Pete. We're already starting to feel the effects of a southerly this evening. Right now, it's 21 degrees in the city, 26 in our west. I'll have your full forecast next.
The secret political affair that's divided the nation. The ugly fallout.
I can't think of a bigger bombshell than this.
A current affair next.
This spring, Ladbrokes is changing the way you multi, putting the power in your hands and giving you more chances to win. With our new split and blended features, load up your multi-legs with runners from the same race, and if any of them get up, you win. Get all the racing multi-combinations you want, done in one. Ladbrokes. Back yourself.
We've made changes for the busier than busy.
Oh, it's the Telstra team. They've upgraded our plan. Oh, cool.
Dedicated account management support, now with messaging for every business.
Right now with NAB, enjoy a $2,000 cash bonus when you refinance your home loan. Because what is money for, if not for a home? NAB, more than money.
So, Dustin, an off-market sale is where you don't advertise, no newspapers, no internet. We wouldn't have multiple buyers fighting over our home.
But don't we want multiple buyers fighting over our home? Off-market really means you'd be selling to a few people that one real estate agent knows.
Yes, that's the magic. We'd kind of be invisible.
Realestate.com.au has millions more buyers than anywhere else. If you're selling, advertise on the number one.
Amazon Prime Day is back. On the 13th and 14th of October, save big on Amazon devices, home and kitchen, electronics, and so much more. Prime Day, the 13th and 14th of October.
We always thought Valia provided a feel-good start to the day. Then we discovered its special probiotics are proven to boost immunity and digestion, all in a deliciously creamy yogurt. Now we know why Valia is so full of feel-goodness.
Stretch and touch your toes. You can push past aches and moans. Time to get back up and go. Your body is the only one you love. Platforms.
I know what you're thinking. Electric. It's not for you. You're probably right. Electric just doesn't have enough range. Everyone knows water and electricity don't mix. No more hanging out here either. Electric just can't keep up. So maybe an electric car isn't for you. Or is it?
This finance report brought to you by the all-electric Audi e-tron, the future made Audi.
Big gains from bank shares pushed the All Ordinaries even higher today. The index has now gained 7% in 7 days, hitting its highest level in 7 months. Telstra had its first ever virtual shareholder meeting and announced a 10% pay cut for the CEO. That was pretty well received and the shares jumped 4% today. But something had to underperform and today it was mining stocks among others. And while the share market is flying, the Aussie dollar is slipping, buying 71.9 US cents, 61 euro cents and 55 British pence.
It felt very summery today with gorgeous sunshine and very warm temperatures reaching 30 to 32 degrees across our west, 27 to 30 degrees along the coast. That's around 7 degrees above average. It was a warm and partly cloudy day across New South Wales. Just a few showers over the northeast and southern ranges. Temperatures soaring above average, particularly in the south. Tomorrow, a high over the Tasman Sea will start to strengthen and draw warm northerly winds down from the tropics. Brisbane expecting a fine day, heading for 27, cloudy in Canberra, a top of 20, fine and 24 degrees for Melbourne. Tomorrow we could see some light showers along the south coast and southern tablelands. Otherwise, inland areas will be mostly sunny, once again warmer than usual, heading for 26 degrees in Albury and Wagga Wagga, while coastal areas will be partly cloudy, much cooler temperatures than we saw today, only heading for a top of 18 in Bega, 24 degrees for Newcastle. Tonight, Sydney is expecting a gusty southerly change to move in over the next hour. The southern beaches are already starting to feel it, while it will hit the northern beaches a little little after 8 p.m. Tomorrow we could see a light shower around 6 a.m. before a cloudy day. The southerly winds could still be quite strong in the morning, but they will ease throughout the day, and as a result of that cool change, it will be much cooler tomorrow. We're only heading for a top of 23 degrees in Richmond and Penrith, 22 on the way for Blacktown, Liverpool, Campbelltown and Gosford, a top of 20 degrees in Terry Hills and Cronulla, and 22 in the city, which is right on average. Let's take a look ahead, and Thursday will warm back up under partly cloudy skies, heading for a top of 27 degrees. A milder day on Friday, heading for 23, then a possible shower on Saturday, bringing 1 or 2 millimetres of rain, with heavier falls on Sunday and the start of next week. Nights will be warmer than average, with lows of 15 to 17 degrees. In our west, hot again on Thursday, heading for 31 degrees, cooling down a little on Friday and Saturday, but still reaching tops of 25 to 27 degrees with possible light showers, with wet weather on the cards next week as well. Pete?
Amber, thank you. Tracy is next with the current affair. That is 9 News for this Tuesday. I'm Peter Overton. I hope you have a good evening. From all of us, good night.